Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks to everyone who's added me so far on Facebook and on Instagram. Thought I'd pop on and we'd do the first little cosmic PSA, first of many, I hope. So I'm Bindi, if you didn't already know, and I wanted to jump on and talk today about, I hope you can hear me, I've got my headphones in. A really powerful portal that's opening up tomorrow on the 10th of June. Some of you might already be aware if you're into your moonology and your moon magic. So we've actually got a really important, really powerful solar lunar eclipse, 10th of June. The calling to the Ring of Fire is going to be a total solar eclipse. We get 2 or 3 throughout the year anyway, every year. But they are particularly potent. So talking a little bit about the moon and how you can use it in order to manifest and how it ties in with the law of attraction today. And we've just got a couple of a moon magic activity, call it a spell if you wish, that you might be interested in doing just to help harness all that abundant power while it's with us. Okay, so it's happening in the month of June, so it does fall in Gemini. So this is all to do with your throat chakra and communication. We might all be feeling a build-up of this power at the moment and an urge to communicate in a truthful way, or basically speak up what's on our mind. The eclipse itself is happening. It's going to start around just after 10 a.m, 10:07 a.m. It's going to peak at about 11:14 a.m. and it's going to continue till about 12:30, 12:26 in the afternoon. So that's probably going to be the most powerful time that we want to take opportunity of this. Okay, exciting. So a little bit of background about the moon cycles. The moon cycles traditionally were the calendar, the original calendar. So they would be used to map your feminine cycles, girls. Your periods would be ruled by the moon, especially in communities in days gone by where all of the females were in close proximity and spent a lot of time together. As you know, we all sync. I know if my Bessie's got a new Bessie, if she doesn't text me and say, it's not my time of the month, I'm like, what? So yeah, that ruled the feminine cycles. Obviously they were used for the purposes of crops, planting, harvesting. 2 main examples, 2 of the full moons that you've got throughout the year are the harvest moon, which would be your crops coming in, your best crop to help you survive through the winter, and then the hunter's moon, which was the last opportunity really of the year, the last brightest moon of the year, enabling the hunters to go out and hunt for longer, lit by the light of the full moon, to basically catch the fattest animals, the juiciest animals to keep for the winter months. So the moon's really underrated basically. Tomorrow it is just emphasised with the additional power of the sun. So the sun represents consciousness and the moon represents subconscious. So the sort of saying about speaking up and truths coming out, it really is the time to establish what you want and what you don't want. So that's kind of the route that we're taking in this video today. For a bit of additional information, I can go off on a bit of a tangent. But the sun traditionally represents, it rules Leo, which is the 5th house, okay, and the 5th house is all about your desires and your wants, having fun, your recreation, your hobbies, your creativity. It does also cover the darker aspects of that, so it can be sort of like addictions or fun and hobbies that have gone too far. So if you think about something like gambling or having relations, can talk about anything that you do for fun that you can maybe over casualise or not take seriously enough. So yeah, it covers things like sex addiction as well, which can start out as a fun thing but obviously can escalate if it's not sort of kept in check. The moon, being the subconscious, rules Cancer, which is the fourth house. And the fourth house is all about family, home, stability. It's also about your ancestry and your origins. So all of those aspects together, this, with that element of truth and communication from Gemini, it's a fantastic time to break habits or let go of, or start to let go of any of those negative traits within yourself, and at the same time as manifesting letting those go, manifesting the really positive conscious aspects, okay, to do with your desires and what you really do want. So we're letting go of what we don't want and what we want to change, and we are bringing in what we really do want. Okay, so how are we going to do this? So we've got a bit of an activity for you if you're interested. Manifestation, thoughts become things. Okay, so this is part of the law of attraction I could never really nail. It's just thinking about something, and you know, you've got to come into alignment. So where you think about it and you really want it, you've got to sort of feel that and line that up with that desire in your gut, and that's how you bring about the manifestation. One of the easiest ways that I've found to do this is to put a step in the middle of that and to actually write things down. This is a really popular method anyway in the law of attraction and manifestation, and it is referred to as scripting. Okay, so in the first instance of your thoughts becoming things, the first physical step is words written down with a pen on a piece of paper, and I've found that to be a bit of a shortcut for me in terms of doing inner work and manifesting what you want. So a good activity is to write out, probably best to do this tonight, because the power is going to be it's going to peak sort of morning afternoon. Usually I'd like to do these rituals, moon rituals, whatever you want to call them, moon woo-woo, of an evening. But I think it'd be a good idea to sort of plan this evening and put the forethought into it, and then take the action tomorrow at the peak of the energy. So writing down a list of the negative things that you want to get rid of from your life, habits that you want to break. We are talking about the fourth house, as I mentioned, ancestry, origin, so any patterns of behaviour. The fourth house is about things that basically have been there since you were born, or traits that you've had, it's sort of carried with you as a young child right up into present or into your adult life. And it can include, people talk about ancestral karma and ancestral patterns. So it can include all that. So if you're aware of any of those things that you want to work on or you want to get rid of, we're going to be writing a list. Okay, so obviously you need to have the intention there when you're writing this out, because the magic is really going to be in your pen to paper, and we're going to sit at the end and just read over, okay, what we've written, and really put the intention in. That's going to be our moon woo-woo spell work. It's going to be putting the intention into those words, into that piece of paper. Read it over until it really sinks in. You really want to feel that desire to want to let those negative aspects go. Okay, on the flip side of that, what we're going to do, we are going to write a list, alternatively, of things that we want to manifest, things that we would like to, it can be things that we like to replace those negative aspects with. So just for a little example, one of my ancestral curses, and being a Pisces, and my 12th house is up the wall. I'm prone to addiction, excess. So a negative aspect for me might be I drink too much, and this is something that's happened throughout my adult life, and it's possibly some of that is down to drink being a bit of a culture, generational culture in my family. So I would like to write that down as a negative aspect, and really the intention for me is to work towards that not being a thing, okay? So what do I want to replace that with? So maybe thinking of a positive habit for myself, something that is achievable and how I can do. So replacing that with, I don't know, maybe like a fitness regime, sorting my diet out. Can be little things like that. Don't get me wrong, you can manifest all of your big, you can use this time to manifest your big things. The only thing that I'd say about manifestation is the detail that you really need to go into. I have learned this in the past, okay? When you ask for something generically, the universe doesn't always get it, so it will kind of send you something that it feels fits the bill, but when you get it, you're like a bit ungrateful because, you know, yeah, like I said I wanted a fella because I'm single, but I didn't want one who was sort of, you know, cheating on me left, right and centre. So this is how specific we've got to get with manifestation. So it would be, you know, I'm single, I'd like to meet a man. Think about the aspects of that person that are really important to you first. So, you know, he must be loyal, respectful, have strong family values, and then you can obviously get into the bit where he's 6'3", he's covered in tattoos, you know, how long you want his stubble to be, etc, etc. But yeah, for your manifestations, I said the more detailed that you can be, the better. Again, you've got to have the intention there and the desire, and also it's not really worth asking for, especially if it's a relationship manifestation that you're doing, asking for these qualities in somebody else if you're not working on those qualities yourself. So that's where the vibrational aspect of manifestation comes in. You know, you've got to send that vibration out to get it. So in order to receive somebody who's loyal and respectful and has strong family values, then on reflection, you must be saying really that you possess those qualities yourself. Okay, so we're going to write that down. We're going to write it with intention. Okay, and what we're going to do tomorrow, when this energy kicks off after 10 a.m, if you can get into an outside space, brilliant. If you can get out there with no shoes on, even better. Connection to the ground, bit of a grounding exercise as well. Anytime that you're manifesting, it's always a fantastic idea to be in touch with some kind of element. Earth is the best because Earth reflects the material realm, what we have in this 3D reality. Okay, so getting outside if possible, bare feet, brilliant. What we want to do, if it's safe to do so, obviously if you are a young adult or you're under 18, please use your discernment and your common sense, but we'd be looking to read over that list of things that we want removed from our life, those negative things and things that we want to change, okay? And ideally we would like to burn that. So if you can get sort of a heat-proof dish or bowl or something like that, if you've got the facility to do it, then I would say that is probably the oldest and best method, would be to burn it under the eclipse, okay? And that is your intentions off then to the moon and the sun, okay? Failing that, if it's not safe for you to burn anything, then it can be buried or just tear it up, destroy it, because essentially that's what you want to happen to those negative things. You want them destroyed from your life, okay? No, obviously if it's a person you're trying to get rid of, if it's a negative person, we don't literally want them to be destroyed, but it's just the mirroring action of ripping something up, getting rid of it. That's what we want to replicate, okay? Once we've done that, obviously the energy is peaking at 11:14 a.m. Now we all know that 11:11 is probably the most recognised and well-known portal number and master number for manifestation. So if we can take a moment, if it's possible, at 11:11. I'm working myself, but I'm planning coffee break, shall we say, a loo break, somewhere around that time. Once the clock hits 11:11, it's going to be a really good time to just sort of go over those manifestations again and just set that intention. By reading it from a piece of paper, you know, you've already got it written down, and you're already prepared, rather than sitting there at 11:11 and going, what did I want again? And maybe not being able to go into that detail. You know, you thought about it tonight. Your new moons are all about planning your intentions. Your new moon, you make the plans, and your full moon, hopefully you take stock or you take your harvest if what you've manifested has come to fruition. Okay, so we'll read over that when the energy hits its peak at 11:11, and just have a little bit of a meditation on what it is that we want, and just confirm to the universe, you know, this is what I want, and it's what I deserve, and it is what I am going to bring into being. Okay, you've got to be very certain about it. It is mine. Okay. And I'll do another video about this, because as I say, I came on just to talk about the eclipse really, but there's a lot on law of manifestation and law of attraction, sorry. So yeah, I'll save it for another video. It's basically, you know, the way that you word things. So if you were looking to manifest money, it would not be enough to say to the universe or to say out loud, I need more money. We can't be using words like need or want. Okay. Need, want are off the list. We'd rephrase it. Good alternatives for that, and as I say, I will go into it on another one, would be maybe to use the word have instead. So not I have money, or it would be I have enough money. I am really grateful, because it's a lot about gratitude. I am really grateful to the universe that I always have enough money. I always have enough money to pay my bills. I always have enough money for my little luxuries at the end of the month. And so we are paying with gratitude. At the same time, we are putting the intention out there that because that's something that we love and we're grateful for, it's going to come back as a cycle. So the universe will just keep us in. We want to be in a loop, in a karmic loop with that feeling. Okay. So a couple of things for you to try out. In terms of making your list, because I did have a little think about this before, and I was like, well, negative things I want to remove out of my life at the moment. There's probably not that many, but how many? You know, how many do you write? You could use any of what I'd refer to as the magic numbers. So I really like 1s, 3s, 6, 7, 9 and 11. Okay, if you can think of 11 things, if you've got 11 negative things or 11 things that you want to manifest, I'd maybe, you know, match the number on each list that you do. Another trick that you could use is to make the list in terms of your life path number. So your life path number you get just by reducing the numbers in your date of birth. So this would be adding up number of the month, number of the day, number of the month, and then each individual digit of the year. Okay, so if you were born on the 1st of January 1991, you'd add 111991, yeah, you'd add them all together. And then if you do get a double number, you basically add in those two numbers together to bring it down to a single digit. So for me, I'd be a life path 4, so it might be an idea for me to just align that with the power tomorrow, and I'd maybe pick 4 things if I was struggling. So 4 negative things. But yeah, if it's your first sort of introduction to moon magic, and it's nice, it is, sometimes it's nice just to, rather than it being from, because I know how people feel about like magic and, oh, it's witchcraft or spells, but even just that activity of sitting down and writing, you'd be surprised. You have to face those aspects of your life and say, well, what am I not happy about? It's easy for those thoughts to travel through your brain, but when you, as I say, when you sat with the pen and the piece of paper, and that is the real magic. There's a reason it's called spelling, kids. Spelling. Okay, it's a spell. Letters, words. Writing them down makes them things. That's the first place that they are born. Thoughts first become words, and words on paper, that's your shortcut. So yeah, nice little activity. Bit of self-care, the usual. Tomorrow evening, if you do this if you plan it tonight, and you go through that, making a little space for a bit of magic tomorrow morning stroke lunchtime, if you can destroy that negative list and just meditate on the positive, and then tomorrow evening, a little bit of self-care. That energy, although the eclipse will be over, it is sort of, the energy is going to last through until Friday probably. Spiritual bath. If you've got your crystals, if you are a crystal fan, I'd say leave them out tomorrow for that 11:14 peak, because you are getting the dual aspect of the sun and the moon. It is important to charge your crystals under the moon, but I find it really helpful to charge them under the sun as well, which I do quite often. So to get an energy where you're getting both at the same time, it's just really amplified. So get your crystals out, set a little circle up on the ground. Again, if you can get your crystals onto the ground, grass or lawn if you've got a garden, onto the pavement, concrete if you've got a yard, just so there's some earthen aspect there, and just leave them out to sort of charge themselves. So yeah, I think for this one that was all that I was going to cover. I'm going to pop back on. I've got actually, I think we'll do that tomorrow. I'll pop back on after the energy is peaked and do another little video, and we'll start getting into a little bit of tarot, if that's what you would like. So we've got a nice moonology deck to get some advice from the moon. Then yeah, we'll do some tarot stuff if that's okay. So any suggestions that you've got or feedback, what you'd like to see on here. Obviously I was thinking about doing we've got an option to do the lives. I am on YouTube if you want to check me out on there. Most of my tarot readings, they're collective readings, and they are aimed at the star sign of Pisces, but I am just starting to branch out into other zodiacs. So you can check me out on YouTube. Alternatively, I'm looking at going live or posting videos on here. So I would like to get a little bit of a feeling of what you would like to see or what you wouldn't like to see. So we can do the lives with polls, for anyone who's coming on and joining. What would you want to know about? What would your questions be about? Would they be about career and finances? Would they be about family, health? We've also got the option to use this as a tool for, self-development, self-confidence, self-awareness, any of the selves, basically. Also, you've got your love and your romance. Ex-love, is he coming back? How does he feel? How do they feel? Will they text me? What's coming towards us? What's new? New prospects, new love, new opportunities. So we can cover all of that with the tarot. So yeah, if you would like to leave me any messages, brilliant. And hopefully we'll be doing, a bit more of this as well. The moon, the planets, the cycles, how they affect us, birth charts, chakras. So I've got loads. I've got absolutely loads. It's been brewing for so long. I feel like I'm a volcano of cosmology at the moment, and I'm about to explode all over you guys. So that didn't sound right, did it? But you know what I mean, in the nicest possible way. So thank you if you've watched this to the end, and thanks again for the friends requests and the ads, and hope you stick with me, and might interest it, might not. Regardless, love you lot. Speak to you soon. Bye.